U.S. President Donald Trump has departed for the U.S.-Mexico border in Texas for a first-hand look at efforts to thwart illegal immigration. Before leaving for the Mexico border, the leader promised to stand firm as far as his demand goes for that border wall and expressed his intentions of declaring national emergency to secure funds for his long-sought wall in case he does not reach a conclusion with the Democrats.
I have the absolute right to declare a national emergency. The lawyers have so advised me. I'm not prepared to do that yet, but if I have to, I will. I have no doubt about it, I will. I have the absolute right to declare. This was passed by Congress. So when you say, was it passed by Congress? It was. Other presidents have used it, some fairly often. I have the absolute right to declare a national emergency. I haven't done it yet. I may do it. If this doesn't work out, probably I will do it. I would almost say definitely.
President Trump also defended his repeated claims that Mexico will pay for his wall, and even when Mexico has said that it will not.
I spoke to some of my friends in Arizona. We've ever had in many ways. Just a couple of things, because I know the fake news likes to say it. When during the campaign, I would say Mexico's going to pay for it. Obviously, I never said this, and I never meant they're going to write out a check. I said they're going to pay for it. They are. They are paying for it with the incredible deal we made called the United States, Mexico, and Canada USMCA deal. It's a trade deal. It has to be approved by Congress.
All right, the president there standing quite firm on his demand. Let's get in further details now from our correspondent Simon Marks, who's been tracking the very latest, is now joining us live from Washington, D.C. Hi, Simon. We just listened into what the president had to say. Let me begin by asking you how the president is so confident that Mexico is going to be paying for that wall when Mexico has clearly said that it will not be.
Well, let's be absolutely clear about the facts that are inconvenient to President Trump. But he says on the campaign trail he never said they were going to pay for it. And if he did, he certainly never said that they were simply going to write a check to cover the costs. In fact, he said exactly that on numerous occasions on the campaign trail during 2016. Then successive Mexican governments said, we're not paying for the wall. Now President Trump insists they will be paying for it indirectly as a result of the tariffs that the United States levies as part of the new US free trade agreement with Canada and Mexico. But the problem is, Congress hasn't ratified that treaty. So at the moment, NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement that the president says is the worst deal the United States ever signed, is still in force. The American government is collecting no new tariffs under the new agreement because Congress hasn't ratified it. So even if you accepted the argument that those tariffs were going to help fund construction of the wall, and that's a stretch, but even if you accepted that argument, in no way currently is Mexico indirectly paying for the wall. So President Trump is now heading to the Texas border for a trip that earlier in the week he told reporters he wasn't really sold on making in the first place, and the Democrats have their arms folded up on Capitol Hill after President Trump stormed out of a meeting with them yesterday when they said they're not going to give him $5 billion to build the wall. Caught in the middle, 800,000 federal government workers who are still furloughed, they are off work at home, and they won't be paid until this extraordinary showdown comes to an end.
Absolutely. And what is the likelihood that it will anytime soon, Simon, given that Trump has already made it clear that he will not be engaging in those talks? It is already inching closer towards becoming the longest shutdown in United States history.
I think you can assume it will become the longest shutdown in United States history. I mean, it's only got another few days to go. There's no sign of any kind of breakthrough here. The Democrats have no reason politically to give President Donald Trump any kind of a win here. And when he says, and you heard him there saying that it's a definite maybe that he might declare a state of emergency. It's a possibility. It's maybe definite that he will do it. yes, he's got the legal right to declare the state of emergency to try and build this wall without congressional support, but he will immediately face legal challenges to that decision that could go all the way to the Supreme Court, and then legal challenges over whether the government has got the power to seize the land that it would need to seize to build the sections of wall that President Trump wants to build. Add to that the fact that the Department of Homeland Security has apparently been sitting on a report from inspectors who advised Department of Homeland Security officials that the kind of steel wall that President Trump wants to build can actually be sawn through with tools and isn't considered particularly secure. And this whole thing starts looking like a delusion on the part of the president. And many Republicans up on Capitol Hill are very nervous about continuing to hitch themselves to this particular presidential bandwagon.
And all this while, as Simon just pointed out, hundreds and thousands of those federal workers going without paychecks. Americans, in a way, paying the price for Donald Trump's tantrums there. We're going to leave it there for the moment. Simon, thanks very much.